What about what Cleeng has brought to NAB?
So I think in the past year and a half, and met with quite a number of analysts also to explain, the transformation of the organization. I mean, we had a bit of a forced transformation at the beginning of 25, but actually that turns as an opportunity really to rethink our ways of working, to maximize, let's say, the use of AI across the organization, and also how we integrate with clients or partners, and to reposition ourselves in a much better way, so to be one of the key players of the futures. What we've been announcing at NAB is actually a set of new agents that we released as part of our main platform. So these are in production. This is not slideware. I think there's definitely a little bit of AI slop and frustration related to this AI slop. Partners and clients that we speak with are very much grounded in reality. They really want to see the proof of what you are saying, not like slideware or something you created quickly with one of these super advanced models, but no, something that is working at scale. And what we announced at NAB is these 4 new agents. One is related to all the onboarding that you can do on our platform. And we really see a great benefit to have, let's say, a coach almost, that is assisting you in every step you can do with the platform. And this is a great combination with the freemium offering that we launched last year. Right, so you can start Cleeng now for free, up to 10,000 subscribers. And this combined with, let's say, an agent that assists you along the way and help you get the most out of the platform, I think that works really well. A second agent that is also in production, and that's the one that is most used by our existing clients, is the analyst agent. And what is really cool is that it saves you dramatic amount of time to look for what is important in your platform at the moment. If you take typically a SaaS company like us, we have about 60 different dashboards of multiple, let's say, KPIs that you track. MRR, ARPU, LTV, upgrade, downgrades, subscriber count, subscription evolution, all the campaign management, all of this per channel. You can do for the web, you can do through Roku, through app stores, and so on. So if you need to analyze this, and if, let's say, your main question you have on Monday morning as you get back to the office and feel, okay, well, what happened with my platform last week? A year ago, literally, you would have to go through all of these 60 dashboard, filter through, okay, what is really relevant to you. And then after maybe 2 hours of going through all of this, you will be able to draw some conclusion to think, maybe, there's this and that, and I need to dig deeper in order to figure it out. Today, with the analyst agent that we've released, and again, that is in full production, you can exactly ask this question. You say, okay, tell me what happened last week. What is important for me to know? And the agent will work on your behalf to analyze all the KPIs on all the various dimensions and to tell you, look, last week, I don't know, you had leakage on Roku and your Roku dropped by 15%, and this is a bit of an abnormal situation. You may have had issues with payment method. And one of the big benefits of Cleeng is that we have all of this normalized data for payment, entitlement, offer management. So all of this is standardized. So it's very easy to look at correlation and to figure out, okay, compared to your norm and your trend, this is not going as planned. All the efforts and work we've been doing in machine learning development for the past 6-7 years really also today benefit what we are developing in terms of AI. And the tool will be able, within a few seconds, to tell you, hey, if you want to know what happened last week, okay, this is what you need to know. Roku had an issue. your debit cards are converting at a slightly lower rate. Your win-back campaign, the campaign number 22 that you did perform really well, while this one didn't perform really well, and we would recommend that you do this, because also not only it analyzes, but it makes a set of recommendations which are most practical to you. So that's really a big plus. The third agent that we have is related to the offer setup and how to save time to set this up. So let's say, back to the previous example, you had this analysis coming about your Roku situation and your win-back campaigns. It will create the recommendation. And if you say, okay, can you help me set this up? You say, yeah, sure. And then it would transfer this to the next agent. And the other agent will basically set this up inside the platform, create the campaign, replicate the names, create the right discounts that are adapted to that particular campaign. So that's really, I think, a proper innovation that will very well serve, let's say, the type of clients that we go after, which are like the large sports federation, the mid-size OTT services, with usually fairly small teams. It's often a handful of people that are running these services, and there this type of tools will be of dramatic benefit for this organization.
I like this last part, because with all the data, etc., then you end up with insights, which is always great. But the fact that now you have agents that are really taking action, I think that's a big difference. I think that's where it should go. Obviously, you need to trust the agent, but that's it's like at some point it's like trust human. At the moment, we allow agent to make much more mistake than we allow humans. We would fire people if they do the mistake that AI is doing now. But on the other end, I think it's also a lot of manual work that nobody really wanted to do in the end. It's more deciding what to do that is important, but implementing in a back office, not really something that people love to do in the first place. So I see that as a positive, to be honest.
Yeah, and this kind of security and control, it's actually what took us the most time to build these agents. The analysis part, because we had the experience before. I think when you have a quality data structure, well documented, definitions, well documented formulas, it goes actually reasonably fast to build this type of analysis nowadays. What took a lot longer is actually how to put in place the right guardrails around this analysis. So how do you properly segregate the client data? How do you remove everything PI, so personal identification? And how do you secure that the admin rights that you have basically help address properly the prompt that you are entering? So if you are a finance person and you may have like certain access rights, okay, you should be able to access everything financial, but maybe you should not have access to, the campaign results. If you are in customer care, you may have access to everything related to particular customer interactions and how basically to mitigate, let's say, the risk of churn for a particular user, but you should not have access to the financial information, and you shouldn't be able to query this through the prompts. So putting these guardrails in place across all of our clients and managing all the different scenarios there has been what has taken the most time actually to deploy this. But now we are pretty happy with the results, and we want to continue to improve, let's say, the UX. I think UX remaining important. And when I say UX, it's not necessarily the visual interfaces, but it's more the quality of the interactions. I think nowadays we all see that Claude and Gemini and ChatGPT are magical tools, right? You ask simple questions and the quality of responses are, like, in my view, mind-blowing, and the tone of voice and the ease of understanding, let's say, the advice, all of this is extremely good. So I would say from a data standpoint and content standpoint, we have what it takes. And now it's really, how do we create an experience that really feels like you have your subscriber retention coach that is here with you and telling you, okay, optimize this a little bit here, a little bit there. And then I think it will be a dramatic and unique experience that we can offer in the industry.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And it's also more and more there is this concept of headless that is not anymore, people using SaaS, but software trying to between API and MCP servers. But I know you're very, very interested in that area too.
It's been a while. I think, you were there, right? It was previous retention zone in IBC 24, right? Where one of the prediction back then was to say, okay, we won't need a dashboard within 2 years. Maybe I was a bit optimistic to say 2 years because that would mean September 26. We will still have a dashboard in September 26, but in September 27, I'm definitely not sure. So we are moving very fast at the moment into this headless architecture. We really want partners and clients to be able to integrate directly into Cleeng and through their own Slack channel or their own Copilot to be able to put, let's say, there, okay, create a subscription offer, and you may still be on the MediaKind website or on the Axido website or on the Univision website or on the ATP website, but you could directly create an offer within the Cleeng environment, or you could retrieve analytical information directly also from your Copilot, directly from let's say the tool that you use, your Slack internally. So that would be a massive change. And this will change also the value we bring, because then it becomes really fully integrated in your ways of working inside your organization.
Absolutely. Okay. So thank you again. I always appreciate our chat. And I know that you have access to a lot of, how can I call it, information from the sources like investors and companies and partners and clients. So for me, it's always good to learn directly what's really going on in the industry.
Thanks, Carlo. It was good to catch up together, and looking forward to what's next.